Well, good evening, family. Back at it again. That's right. Live on Facebook, live on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, as well as over at the womenofElevation.com's website. I do want to welcome each and every one of you here. I am a senior coach with an amazing organization, as well as the CEO, visionary founder of an amazing organization that's based here in Chesapeake, Virginia. And so the name of this podcast show is actually Revitalize the Total Woman podcast, okay? Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. And I do want to welcome you here to this particular podcast show that goes live every Tuesday and Wednesday around 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so welcome aboard for those of you who are going to catch this live, as well as those of you who are going to be a part of the replay and listening in. So before I dive into specifics regarding this particular podcast show, I am going to, first and foremost, do a watch party. So I'm going to do a watch party. And there are a couple of ways that you can be involved. So you can like or love this stream for those of you ladies out there. You can comment below at any point, and you can share this out to those that you love and want to empower yourself. So I'm actually going to search for the group that I do want to do this watch party in, which is Women of Elevation. It does have a community area that you can plug into, and I'm going to share more about that in just a second. But let me go ahead and get this watch party revved up. All right.
And listening in.
Sounds like it's pretty good inside of the group. So good evening for those of you ladies who are getting notified that we're live in the Women of Elevation group. Welcome to the podcast show. This show once again goes live Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And really the mission and purpose of this show is to empower you women with the tools to be able to create, relate, and elevate, so you can walk in your God-given purpose and truly live your dream lifestyle. Even in the midst of the quarantine, you can still do these same things that you desire. And so we desire to really empower you, to travel that journey. And we're going to travel this journey together. You're not by yourself in this regard. So I just want to give you the heads up about that. We're on this journey together. You are not alone. And so welcome aboard. Now, many of you know that every year we have 3 focus areas. So for example, January through April, we focus in on helping you to create products, services, and hosting your own events. But during the months of May, June, July, and August, we switch it up a bit and we focus in on helping you to establish and strengthen your personal and professional relationships that will impact your career path. And so that's what we do during these months. But more specifically, during the month of May, we're focusing in on personal relationship enhancement or enrichment. We're talking about keys that's going to help you to have healthy personal relationships. Now, here's a heads up. We're looking forward to having a panel discussion with amazing women during the month of July. And we're actually looking for those of you ladies who want to join the panel. So if you're a woman, maybe you want to share your experience regarding being single, all right, and being happy and satisfied as a single woman. Maybe you have experience that you want to share regarding being married during the first couple of years of marriage, or even being happily married for years. Or maybe you've experienced that time in life that some women unfortunately have to go through, which involves divorce, but you want to share with women how to overcome in that season of life. And so we invite you, for those of you ladies who want to share of your experience, to definitely reply and say info. Okay, so reply info in the comments area if you want to learn about joining or being a part of the panel discussion in the month of July to empower hundreds of women online who really want to know how to have healthy relationships. So let us know by including the word info in the comment section below. All right, so as I mentioned, I want to talk about this concept, this key ingredient to having healthy relationships. And the key ingredient that I really want to talk about tonight involves communication. Yep, that's why you see that preview image there of the cartoon woman and man, right? With the little bubble little areas. Yeah, that signifies communication. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit on tonight. We're not going to be extremely long. Hey, Miss Pat, thank you so very much for being here tonight. Now, remember, guys, feel free, as I mentioned earlier, like or love this stream that you're tuning into right now. Comment below and definitely share this out to other ladies because we do want to empower them in the area of relationship building. And so here's my thoughts about communication. You know, now, have you ever heard of this phrase, we never argue or fight? Now, that's not something to actually brag about because it's really a red flag. Okay? If a couple, man and woman, right, does not argue, it is a sign of distrust. You see, one or both members of the relationship is avoiding confrontation and really dismissing their own thoughts and feelings to please their partner in order to escape the discomfort of discourse. A lot of people don't like to feel, that there's a problem in a relationship, so they try to avoid it by not bringing it up, and that's an issue. That's a huge issue. It's a red flag. So these type of relationships will not last long because there is an absence of trust and an overwhelming presence of fear. And when there's lack of trust and when there is a presence of fear, that means that the relationship is suffering. The relationship is suffering. If no one has the ability, the platform to communicate and share what's on their mind and what's on their heart, there is a problem. Because that person may feel as though the other person is going to react the wrong way. And of course, it could be all in their mind, but it also could be because there are signs that the other person could be displaying. Maybe the other person sounds verbally aggressive or even has been physically aggressive, just showing aggression with slamming doors and just doing all types of things that kind of put up a red flag for that other individual. So you want to be cautious, but at the same time, a healthy relationship is going to have that platform where one party or the other can be able to express themselves in a healthy manner without feeling as though there's going to be a repercussion for doing so, right? And this is something that I've learned from dating for some time. Okay, let's start there, right? But then also being married for over 14 years, I've come to understand that communication is key. And it impacts a lot of areas of your life. Just, maybe not just your feelings, but when it comes to money, right? And hashing out those particular issues, it could be that you're dealing with, maybe you're trying to figure out how to add some more fun in the relationship. That involves communication because you got to communicate with one another to find out perhaps what's going on. And then we evolve. I'm going to make this last point. We evolve in relationships. And so your desires, what it is that you want in the relationship may change. So it's important that you communicate about that. I know when my husband and we got married, we might have been thinking one way. Okay, we might have been just primarily at the time ministry driven, where we're just focusing in on ministry, right? But then gradually, God just revealed to the both of us that we have this entrepreneurial spirit, right? Where we want to actually go into business. And so we did. And we're doing that today. We're in business together. Now, does it mean that every element as far as what we want to do is the same? No. Now, for some people that don't know, like my husband, he definitely likes trading. Okay, let's put it out there. And I'm someone who loves to empower women. So when it comes to my nonprofit organization, yes, he's on the board of directors for that organization. But is he like gung-ho about it? Like, is he going full steam ahead? Probably not as passionately as I am, because that's a passion area of mine. And so with him, yes, I'm involved with trading a little bit, but he's more fluent in it. He knows more about it than I do. Okay. And so that's how we get together. We kind of see where each other is. And it's important that you at least touch bases with each other, have healthy dialogue on a day-by-day basis. And that's what I am like intentionally doing with my husband and I. I'm like, look, we need to sit down and see where we are. Just remain in the present moment and see how each other is feeling. Very important to do that. How are you feeling in that moment? How is this different from yesterday? Like, where do you want to go? Where do you see things? How can we improve? Just asking questions like that. Now, depending on your type, your spouse or your significant other, they may be more chatty than the other or less chatty. And so you have to work with that and you have to respect that. So that's really what I wanted to kind of drop that nugget on you tonight. Remember, these sessions are not meant to be training sessions, but little laser coaching sessions on various topics. And tonight's topic, communication. So listen, if you're on my timeline or maybe on the podcast platform and you're not in the community group on Facebook for the organization here, I want to invite you to join us. You're missing out. Okay, I provide, affirmations to empower women on a day-by-day basis. And of course, every now and then we have some dialogue questions that we post in there where we can interact and encourage one another along the way. Are we spamming the group, spamming each other as far as business deals and opportunities? No, that's not the type of group that this is. It's all about empowerment. And we invite you to be a part of that community. Now, the way to do that is by simply going to www.woecommunity.com. Okay, so that's woecommunity.com. Join us there, engage in the dialogue, the special posts that we may put up every now and then. It's not every night, but every now and then we have some dialogue questions, some posts that we make, and we encourage you to participate. You're not forced, it's not mandatory, but we encourage you to do so. It's definitely for your benefit and those who are also members of the group. So again, thank you so very much on being here tonight. Now remember, if you want to be a part of the panel or want to be considered to be a part of the panel discussion that's going to happen in the month of July, I encourage you to reply to the stream with the word info, and we'll make sure that we get information to you so that you can definitely apply to be a part of the panel discussion. All right. And we're going to be airing this particular telesummit / Zoom meeting out so that people can participate. So no worries. There are going to be so many people that's able to participate in this grand event. So thank you so very much for chiming in and listening in to the session on tonight here with the Revitalize the Total Woman podcast. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00 p.m. with session number 2 for this week. Now, we do encourage you, check out our website because we slowly but surely provide updates there as well. Our website address is www.womenofelevation.com. And so on behalf of all the board leaders, thank you so very much. Have a blessed evening.